So it's going to be 3 different exhibitions in one. There is the IDB Project Memory, where we're going around collecting memoir-length interviews of genius elders all over the country, as well as premium kind of photographic portraits of them taken by the best photographers in the country. Then there's the Commonwealth Foundation is partnering with us in the creation of the History of Trinidad and Tobago Arts and Culture, massive exhibition tracing every single medium chronologically. So we're going to give back to the nation the 50th anniversary. Like, this is the genius things that we have done in our time here on this rock. From the Banwari man, which is the oldest fossil of Native American. The Banwari man is 7,000 years old, and artifacts from that straight up to Nicki Minaj, right? So from Banwari man to Groja, the first Calypsonian in the 16th century, to the present day Nicki Minaj and that kind of stuff. Anya Ayamchi and Project Runway and all that. And then the other part is Salute to the Centenarians, which is the project of the Asian Division of the Ministry of Community Development. And that's, they're doing short biographies and photographic portraits of the nation's centenarians, people who are 100 years and over, and they're like, I think, over 200 of them. So all of these are in one space as 3 different themed exhibits, and that's going to open in February. So in terms of, this is just like a plan, a working plan of what that looks like. So to do the History of Trinidad and Tobago Arts and Culture, we had like 2 or 3 months in which to do that, which is almost impossible. It's a mammoth task if you want to do it properly and do it at international museum best practice, look and feel and integrity. So we have to kind of conceive, what does that optimum exhibit look like in a perfect space, in a perfect time, and work backwards and say, we will have to create a framework and a skeleton in which we and others coming after us can continue building on what we have done in terms of the aesthetics of it is strong, the bone structure of it in terms of the information and the kind of way that we hardwire it is strong enough so that people can insert the missing pieces and build this kind of comprehensive thing. So this is that bone structure, which conceives of 160 panels or displays, starting from the first wall, which is the thesis of what is Trinidad and Tobago and what that means, and then which talks about, you know, Trinidad Oscar Award winners, Grammy Award winners, Tony Award winners, Nobel Prize winners, Bollywood Oscar Award winners, you know, Commonwealth Book Award, the whole panorama of the over 100 world records, etc., etc., etc. 1.3 million people, a remarkable kind of record for people, and all, you know, 300 Trinidad-style carnivals all over the planet, the 2 largest festivals in the Western world, etc., etc. All this from this rock of 1.3 million people, leaders of Pan-Africanism, all kinds of things all over the planet. And so it asks, like, how, why, how is this possible? You know, there are countries, you know, 100 times our size in population and that kind of stuff, no world record holders, no, you know, no one like that among their ranks, but we have this thing. And so it kind of sets up a thesis statement or a thesis query, and then the exhibit is us exploring the things we've done. And it begins with the people who came. What did the people who came come with, right? So there are 6 civilizations here. You know, African, the East Indians, the Europeans, the Chinese, and the Middle Easterners. They're all here. And then we get a brief history of Trinidad, like a timeline, and then we enter the Amerindians. Yeah, they were the Native Americans. We are in their place. And then we track every single media, well, calypso, mass, pan, chutney, East Indian folk and classical, visual arts, everything, agriculture, land use, cuisine, all those different things, all the way through chronologically from the point of origin here to the present. And so we track like what the perfect kind of mapping of that would be, panel by panel, going chronologically and punching out with great geniuses and masters of the form. And so we kind of script and build what would those cabinets look like, the great cabinets when they, and that's what they do. I mean, and all the way through, and we said there are 160 in a perfect kind of summation, and then we said there's no way we can do 160 between now and February, but the minimum amount in which we can tell the story of the country with integrity is 67. Wow. So our target is 67 panels, and this exhibit is supposed to go over 3 months in one location in Trinidad, in North Trinidad, then it moves to Tobago for 3 months, and then it comes back to South Trinidad for 3 months. After which time it's supposed to be permanently lodged in a new museum space that would be created for it, and other things. So that's the history. But then we have public art, merchandise, Project Memory. So you have downstairs, which will have all the multitude of all this stuff. And Project Memory we visualize as and the tribute to centenarians as one kind of field. And what those would be, hopefully, would be these kind of white standing kind of monoliths or obelisks. And all that will be inside of it is a screen. And the only other thing in the room would be one hanging portrait, like a massive portrait of the person or persons in a row whose memories lodge within this obelisk. So people walk into this room, and on one side of the room are just a long wall of white obelisks with one large picture hanging above. And you go to it and you press the button, you put on the headphones, and there's the person's life, being narrated to you by themselves. And behind them is just a panoply of all the images that we would have taken of them hanging on massive banners and stuff. As like a celebration of the multitude of genius and the elders. And that's it. That's the project. So, we're hoping to, if people enroll about 5 times throughout the entire exhibition, like break down weeping, then I think we would have failed. Because it should be an emotional experience. One of the problems with the Caribbean, but especially Trinidad, is that after all the genius that we have wrought in our history, most of the times in our nations, it is nowhere visible. You can walk all the streets, you can walk everywhere, neighborhoods, communities. There is no reminder, there are no places of memory, there are no monuments, significant monuments, there are no touchstones, it's not integrated in curriculum, in media, in our everyday lives. The fact that we have done the genius things that we have done. And so this exhibition is that item of memory, that permanent touchstone monolith in the landscape that says that we are here. And that's it, really.
Nice.